not like her, because she's so far so good, and she be looking good. And that is what has been getting to him, with her appearance or part of her body showing, and he can't seem to contain himself. Now look at this successful boxer and how he reacts and how he tried to force a woman to kiss him. Now look at this. Let's pull up this all the way to the top.
Let's kiss for the chat.
We're not kissing.
That's crazy.
I'm not doing that. I'll kiss it.
So he said, let's kiss for the camera. That's what he said to her. Let's kiss for the camera. And I'm saying, so let's get into this.
What's the name? I'll kiss the chat. Julian.
Good people will always regret doing the evil, while evil people, they have no regrets at all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't care about a beautiful woman. So if she want to go, let her go. Nigga.
He doesn't care about a beautiful woman. That's a lie. The lie detector said that's a lie. And we don't need no lie detector to see that's a lie. You know why that's a lie? Because he asked the most beautiful woman in that kitchen or wherever in the house that they are, right, for a kiss. He never asked the less attractive woman for a kiss. He asked the most beautiful one. His disrespectful way towards a very beautiful woman we see in the video, right? I came across this video and it perfectly aligned at the right time, to what had taken place, because this guy on the screen had said something in this video about Megan Thee Stallion that it really correlates with what somewhat have been saying, you know what I'm saying, to the Adrien Broner situation.
I woke up this morning, was born in Kingston and leaving Jamaica abroad, not to England.
This is my page, and the first post here you see in Look a nigga stop talk. Pussy them a keep a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. Black money, black card, rich like who little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a keep a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced.
Excellent process. Yeah.
One bag of money. Yard one a foreign. Can't team some stay same way like me daddy. Black money, black card, rich like who little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. Black money, black card, rich like who little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. We advance academically and professionally, extraterrestrially and even medically. Sell we to everybody, take the molly, superfragically, PSPally, sexually, get the dolly ben reality. In every alley, genitally make Beverly see. Up I do nally, then be clarin and them off me. No go tell Rivali, anti-valley no mediocrity. Black magic, watch fraud. Get a black puss with a black dog. A mad sus, when mad dog. I de left a bad push with the cash card. Black money, black card, rich like who little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dogs them fully advanced. Black money, black card, rich like who little nigga stop talk. Pussy them a cap a axe off. In a frag of me dog them fully advanced. Yes, that's right there. You see me? Tough a lie, bad. People, yo, yeah. So just as I was making the Adrien Broner video of his rude and his unaccepted behavior, as I was just about finished with the video, right, with Adrien Broner and his disrespectful way towards a very beautiful woman we see in the video, right? I came across this video and it perfectly aligned at the right time, to what had taken place, because this guy on the screen had said something in this video about Megan the Stallion that it really correlates with what somewhat have been saying, what I'm saying, to the Adrien Broner situation. So yeah, I'm gonna play this video right with Megan the Stallion, and I've always loved Megan the Stallion. However, I am hold on. So I always love Megan the Stallion, and here she is. She recently broke up with her white guy. She was with a white husband. She had a white dude, tall. I think he was some basketball player. I'm not sure. But I've seen them and I've commented on their, relationship posts with that they had taken together. So I always love Megan the Stallion. However, just as all the other celebrities nowadays, they be seem to slipping up a lot of times. And if you're a fan that don't agree with their behavior or something that they have done that you as a fan don't agree with, and you made it clear, then a lot of the times a lot of these celebrities, they think that because you disagree and you talk against what they have done, they think that you're a hater. They try to stereotype you being a hater, being broke, being someone that is troubled or seeking problem or clout, or they try to paint you in every bad thing that, possible. So she has been guilty of doing some stuff that I'm guilty of, talking against. So the fact that I'm saying that I always love Megan the Stallion, like she'll see it or believe that he's, you know, like he is lying or capping or whatever. But I remember when I first saw or came across Megan the Stallion content, it was on TV back in 2019, I think, was the first time, because I was away in the country area just working. I was away from the television, cable, and all that thing. I was on the internet because 2019 the internet was up, but I think I was making vlogs about dancehall or dancehall artists or something. So I wasn't really into what was going on the international scene until I came back to Kingston, where I'm from, where I was birthed and raised, for most of my life. So that was when I came across Megan the Stallion, and she really, captivate my attention. And I was like, who is this girl? I like her. And then like all of a sudden I seen she started to get bigger and bigger. Like from 2019 when I first saw her on TV, at my house, like 2019, then Corona started, and then she had propelled excessively with her career just in a very short space of time. Till I remember she was doing that Tina Snow, that twerk song. And the day is on the floor, something like that, And then she and Cardi B had done the thing before, the big WAP song that had gotten her so many respect and love, and she and Nicki Minaj had collaborated also prior to her and Cardi B WAP, and I was very proud of her. So, but then I started to get so deep in her content, and it happens a lot with other celebrities as well, um not just Megan the Stallion. She's very beautiful, strong, and I don't think she should cry as much as she cry and be complaining. And then the sight of me seeing her strong, she played herself weak. It's like I don't know, but some ways it seems weak in our eyes when we see like a Megan the Stallion dating and marrying a tall white guy. You know what I'm saying? Because like we know how toxic black relationships is. So the fact when you see a black girl with a white guy, it's like she's running from that level of toxicity. So it's like you see weakness. I'm not saying that it is unfair, or I'm not saying that it is wrong for a black woman to date a white woman, because I've done vlogs where I made it clear I love white women for many years. And now recently I've done a vlog cover where I said I just have this thing for black women now that I've never had before, because of, if you look on my profile picture here on YouTube, you'll see me kissing my girl toes. She's like the first black girl that really have me feeling different about other black girls. Like now I just want so many black girls. Like it's crazy. I grew up admiring and loving, falling for the lighter skinned girls, but I'm telling you that the last girl I had, and I still have her. I still do. You know, but she knows our situation. She knows I'm a man. I do what I can. You know what I'm saying? And she respects that because she know I'm a great guy, and she knows she'll never meet. That's why I'm afraid to eat from women. Like when I go to or if I just meet a woman or just get with a woman and she cook for me, I'm kind of scared to eat from them because I know I'm a good dude. I know I'm kind, and I know how people try to keep you in their life when they realize that they meet a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of a kind. If I get a friend, I know that friend will never get another friend like me. And that's why a lot of my enemies, I stay far from them because they miss me being around. And that is what I tell you about evil people. They like to take advantage of the good people, but when there's no more good people around and they only have the evil people around them, they can't manage it. The same evil people can't manage. They miss the good people around them because they know that they're safe with good people around them. But evil people know they're not safe when other evil people is around them. That's why it's important to be good, do good, because the same evil people will protect you from other evil people. You know what I'm saying? When it's beneficial to them or because they love you. Doing good is so powerful that it makes evil people love you and sometimes hate you at the same time. You know, a lot of time and most of the time, the relationship between you and your friend, if you're good and they're evil, or you know what I'm saying, they they will start off treating you evil, right? But they'll have to come to a realization that, yo, this is the guy. And your good deeds can create this powerhouse to convert them to being good and to become good. I've seen where I've done that, and I've seen where it happened amongst, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you just gotta always see the importance of being good. Now I'm gonna play this and y'all gonna see. Now I don't have any problem with what Megan done here. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any problem with her drinking from another woman's bosom because you know she's a celebrity. These are things that are currency for them, you know, showing themselves. And you know, woman and woman, these are natural simple things for us. You know, I mean, that I know it's not something positive for the kids, but come on, she's a grown up, she's an adult, she's free to do this. But the guy in the video, he has a great deal of problem with her doing this. But he's gonna say something that I totally agree with because I said it in the Broner video, Adrien Broner video, of how he's trying to take advantage of the lady in the video. Now let's play this for y'all.
And just like that, she's back in her natural habitat. It didn't even take 2 days, and she's back at the drinking shots out of some zero tits. That is your modern woman. Women move on very, very fast. She is back doing what she does best, being a zero. So if you expected anything better, then you're dumb.
Okay, that was the very last thing that he said that that caused me to mix this video with the Adrien Broner video, where he said at the end that if you expected any better, you'd be a fool. And that's what I said in the Adrien Broner video because he asked the cute snow bunny on his in his post, right, for a kiss for the camera, and she declined and said no and denied him of the kiss, right? I'm not sure if she was his main spouse because there's 3 snow bunnies in all that is around him in the same video, but he asked the most beautiful one, I would say she's the most beautiful one, for a kiss. And he's saying that he doesn't care how beautiful a woman is and he got the money, and you know, and I made it clear that he doesn't know what he's saying because he does care how beautiful a woman is because he chose to ask the most beautiful one for a kiss. So you know, these a lot of grown ass American, they're not mature enough to, and they're old and grown up, and they still have this mind of a child, especially the American males. I speak about this a lot too before here on my channel. If you watch most of my content, you'll see where quite a few videos I said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I might end it here because y'all get the point, you know, because I said if Adrien Broner had expected that woman to have give him a kiss, which she declined, then he's stupid and foolish. He was the main reason to flop himself, to not be studying the people who is around him. He should have known that that woman was going to say no because you should study the people around you. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, she doesn't like kissing this man. You know what I'm saying? And he embarrassed himself by asking her for the kiss on camera. He wait until the camera is there to ask someone who is not sure about. So he's dumb. You know, and shout out to that girl for declining the kiss. Women shouldn't have to subject themselves to you because you have money. Get the out of here. You know, and any woman who subject themselves to any man just because of money, then those are the women we're not with. We don't want them around. You know what I'm saying? We want women like her around, you know, and Megan the Stallion. You see what I'm saying? So I can sharpen her mind and have her to better herself. Yeah, you know I'm saying. Yeah, people, yo. We here with another damn, I don't know how to describe this, you know what I'm saying? So what we have been doing is we have been correcting a lot of these dumbasses men and dumbasses women, you know what I'm saying? Because we're living in a world, especially here in Jamaica, although we've seen it being exercised and you know, being exercised by a lot of people in the Western world, you know, and the problem is where majority of the women, you know, been representing and they've been picking up, they've been unfairly and biasly supporting their female, right? Their sisterhood, right? Majority of the women fail to take accountability, right? For other sisters, right? And then over the men section, most men in the Western world, you know, they believe that women should, you know, get the benefits, all these benefits. So most men in the Western world, you know, they give power to these women where, you know, they don't hold them accountable either. You know what I'm saying? And it causes an imbalance because if most men who should be men, you know what I'm saying, be leaders, right? Being the master of the house, right? If most of our men, right, give up their power to not hold women accountable when they should be held accountable, right? And because especially here in Jamaica, what I've been talking about a lot is that there are many men who believe that, you know, we should give women our everything or give them all that they want, you know, and they don't care. These men care not for their brothers, you know, for other men. A lot of Jamaican men, they don't believe or they actually don't give or share their funds, money with other men. Only women, even women they do not know. And then all this, because when you do the math, right? The math shows that there's so many men supporting these selfish women, right? Now that leaves lesser men and lesser people, right, who stand for the right thing or righteousness. Because righteousness is also punishing people, you know. Just like when a parents punish their child for stealing, right? That shows love. Because the fact that these parents whip their children's ass for stealing, it means it shows that they love their children and it shows that they want their children to change and to not to practice those bad habits. Because why? People may just unalive them outside of their parents' house if they pull these acts. You know, there's a lot of repercussion, a lot of consequences to bear when you go outside of your parents' house to steal other people's things. You may die. It doesn't matter if you're a child. You can die for stealing. So when a parents beat their child or punish them, you know, discipline them, have them cry, right? For them to change from their bad ways, it's love. You know what I'm saying? So these men who believe that they should give women everything, they don't love women. The men who believe that women can never be wrong, they don't love women. Because when you love someone, you address their faults and their failure, right? And you have to punish them by speaking the truth, you know, exposing their bad deeds because you love them. You don't want them to do these things that could get them killed, right? Because that is why a lot of women die from the hands of men because they're just with them for money, or they're just with them for whatever reason, for whatever opportunity, because they're opportunists. You know what I'm saying? So this is a big problem for with men and for men, just as well as it is problem with women and for women. So for the men who they can never see women wrong, right? They don't love women. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones who are just like the parents who spoil their child to do whatever their kids think. Those are the parents who lose their children, whether they lose their children respect or they lose their child from being in this world because they fail to punish them and to teach them what is right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but with this video, it's completely opposite. You know what I'm saying? This is where we've seen where this man, right? And you have a lot of men like this who believe that because they have their money. And we're talking about Adrien Broner here, who is very successful, right? I should have said successful, because that's what the mistake I almost made to say. But I realize it's not a mistake because that's just the universe working for me to say what it wants me to say. So this Adrien Broner guy, he is very successful because he believes that if a woman is affiliated with him or in any way around him, working for him, he believes that he is entitled and they should be obligated to give up their body to him, right? Because they are affiliated with him. And I spoke about this yesterday in a vlog that I had conducted, right? About our reggae singer Yaksta, who is this Rasta or culture artist, or he should be a culture artist, but instead he seemed to have separated himself, right, from the positive vibes and the good music we expect from these reggae artists here in Jamaica, and he took himself to chase clout and controversy, you know what I'm saying? He went and sang about Mali as a Rasta man. He's singing about banging the line, like to steal and to rob from older people or whoever. Because once you're involved in scamming and promoting scamming, you are promoting thievery. It's people to thief. This is what the name Yakstad, or supposedly culture positive dreadlocks boy who's supposed to be Rasta. You get me? I said these are the things he does because he's a cloud chaser. He doesn't believe that he should work hard and try to figure out how to make music nice for the people to love him, right? And a lot of artists, they do this. They get bitter and they try to point fingers and blame other successful artists for their downfall because they can't find the music and the nice songs that these people are finding, who they tend to blame. Because now we see the Yaksta, the ugly, ignorant, evil MFKR dread boy who said he once bored his nose a long time ago, right, and done all these folly, right, and he also admitted to not knowing shit about Rasta, but yet still he's a part of Rasta. Now he wants to burn out gay guys and preach a whole bunch of homophobic terms to, you know, the LGBT community. And when his career was going up, he never had a problem with the LGBT. So now as a Jamaican, people gonna say, oh, I'm defending the gays, I must be gay. But it doesn't matter what they say or what they think, because it's just the truth. You know, a lot of our Jamaican artists and people in profession, when they fail to produce what they are to and what they are to, when they fail to produce these success, you know what I mean, or these music, because we're talking about artists. So when they fail to produce these big hit songs, they point fingers, they get so ignorant and embarrassed and frustrated, and they get so evil and wicked because of their own failure. But they rather blame Chronics and blame Lila Ike and blame Coffee, and they say that they're gay, you know. And the guy who had came out first, who had exposed our great reggae singer Coffee, right, as gay, the Jamaican who had done that, right, tried to tarnish her career, his name is Foota Hype, right, and he's a rapist. He has been accused by few ladies to have hold down other females, right? and force his way upon them. And that is what a lot of Jamaican men do. They bring up this topic of homosexuality and LGBT because they feel normal to see other people bash the gay people. But they're hiding under all that commotion of homophobic slurs being, disrespectful to the LGBT people, while their rapist character and murderous, evil atrocity of character that they display, right, whenever people is not around, right? These are the type of people that hide and they slip under the rug to go unnoticed, right? But they're worse than any homosexual men, any LGBT. These people in Jamaica, especially the men who get up every day and they preach hate against the LGBT people, most of them, 95% of them, they are rapists. They're some serial unaliver. You know what I mean? These people are worse than any LGBT, but they feel so good to see people having the gay men and the LGBT community being on top, being the worst. They're being classified. They're being, you know what I mean? Here in Jamaica, the stigma that is against gay people and LGBT, that is on the forefront of being not good. But yet still, the same people who be getting up every day and, creating all these talks of gay people being wrong and being, a problem in society, these are the people who talks these things. They are the real issue of society. They're the ones who are kidnapping the girls and, raping them. And they feel okay when they see the whole nation bashing gays because they're like, yes, no one hates me like them. You know what I'm saying? They're getting away with their atrocities, which is way worse because I'm sure we've all worked in workplaces around gay people. We attend school, institution amongst gay people. And, we get to do our work or concentrate despite gay people being around, but when you have someone who is hateful, just bad mind and hate people for no reason, when you have rapists working in your workplaces, when you have evil people like that, those are the real problem. But these are the people who gets up every day and they hate on the LGBT and try to promote that so they can feel normal seeing people bashing gays, right? But we need to start bashing the rapists and the murderers just the same. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see how different things change. You'll see how different things change once we put the rapists at the pinnacle and these people who go around killing innocent people. Once we start to bash these type of people just as how much we're bashing gays, then you'll see everything changes. I swear. So now this guy, Adrien Broner, who believes he got money, that every woman around him should throw themselves at him. A lot of men have these mentality and it's crazy. It's sickening. You know what I'm saying? And they're so stupid. They're so blind. And I'm glad that this woman here you're seeing on the screen, she stood up, she did the right thing. And I already saw one comment that was exposed supporting her and I had liked it because I never really clicked in the comment section. It's just the top comment that appeared when you're watching this video, And so I'm glad to see very intelligent people. And, I'm going to always support women over these stupid men. Whenever someone is in the right, I'm going to give them the right. There's B Slime mentioning me is he wants me to capture his live on Instagram. Like a lot of these celebrities be mentioning me when they go live because they realize that I capture their live, I speak my mind on it and upload it on YouTube and Instagram. So shout out to one B Slime, and make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram. Now let's check out Adrien Broner and see his story of his success. You know what I'm saying? Now Adrien Broner, right? His real name is Adrien Jerome Broner. Me and the Jerome never get along. I'm glad that Wikipedia exposed his middle name as Jerome. Now I see where his rank came from. I got cousin who was Jerome and they were not as loving and as, but yet we'll play together and things was just not. So I always noticed the Jeromes and the Kevin. There's only one Kevin I truly see that I admired and he's not that smart. And it's the one Kevin on TikTok who defend Vybz Kartel. But sometimes he be slipping up saying the wrong things, but we still got to support him because we got one aim, one goal, and one destiny. So we're going to get into Adrien Broner, Jerome Broner story. Now he's an American former professional boxer. He won world championships in 4 weight classes, including the World Boxing Organization (WBO) super featherweight title from 2011 to 2012, the World Boxing Council, and all these things that he had won, and have achieved. The World Boxing Association welterweight title in 2013, and the WBA. I thought it was gonna say WNBA, but the WBA, right, which is welterweight boxing association, right? Super lightweight title he also had claimed in 2015 to 2016. He grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and started boxing at the age of 6. He has said that the sport saved him from a life on the streets. Now, a lot of these niggas who, you know what I'm saying, they grew up to be such a success, but their mentality was never grown up. You know what I'm saying? They still got this little child like mentality because, people don't really think carefully and logically a lot of times. They just work with what people say, and what they see is accepted without questioning it. Now, that's a big problem that keeps bringing society backwards instead of forward to a betterment in life. You know what I'm saying? Because when we grew up and when we're growing up and we're hearing, our old grandparents or parents be saying some powerful parables, and we'll continue to repeat them without carefully assessing them. And that is why you have men like him and women like that. Not like her, because she's so far so good, and she be looking good. And that is what has been getting to him, with her appearance or part of her body showing, and he can't seem to contain himself. Now look at this successful boxer and how he reacts and how he tried to force a woman to kiss him. Now look at this. Let's pull up this all the way to the top.
Let's kiss for the chat.
We're not kissing.
That's crazy.
I'm not doing that. I'll kiss it.
So he said, let's kiss for the camera. That's what he said to her. Let's kiss for the camera. And there's 2 other female white chicks, to be exact. Like you could tell, this black man, he loves the white chicks because the white chicks, they're so, for one, I'm not going to say all white chicks, but it is known and it's a fact that the snow bunnies, they treat black man better than most of our black women. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these snow bunnies, I like the term snow bunnies, and I think they do too. It's a nice name and it's cute. Bunnies are cute, and these white women are cute. So the name has to match what we're describing. You know what I'm saying? And they're so cute and nice and attractive and what's the term I'm looking for? I have the word. It's seductive. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't able to manage himself. And a lot of guys fail to manage, not because a woman is seductive, meaning that you should give in to it. Learn to withstand the pressure, and then you will become at that level where you can be in a room with a lot of naked women and still be mature enough to, do the right thing. Because a lot of, especially the black guys, they can't. A lot of them, they get out of control and sporadic and wilding out, putting themselves in trouble. Sometimes when you see a woman sexy and attractive, whether or not she's revealing parts of her body or she's too revealing and dressed, like that, you need to challenge yourself, right? That's how you become better. And then we have this saying that no one is better than no one. Obviously, we're better than a lot of y'all niggas. And, there are people better to be around than others. So don't tell me that no one is better than no one. And these are the things that they hear, that they born in the earth, came on the earth, hearing their older parents and older folks saying without carefully assessing it. But there are people who are better than a lot of others because they work on their self. They are aware of their faults and they try to fix it. But a lot of these dumbass big adults, grown-ass men and grown-ass women are so dumb and they don't take the time to assess their belief system. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this.
What's the name? I'll kiss the child. Julian.
She hurt his heart so much. Now he's gonna try his best to hurt her so much. But you could tell that he's so butthurt and he looks like the fool because he's definitely the fool. And she was so positive up to this point here where she kissed the camera, but she was not willing to kiss him and she doesn't owe him a kiss. And the thing is, even if she was his wife, it's his fault for not getting that kiss. And you don't just put people on the spot like that unless you know them. A lot of niggas and bitches be in relationship and they fail to understand each other. They'll be around for so long and then wait for the time to be on the camera to ask for a kiss and she says no, right? And they should know if their bitch is gonna say yes or no, unless they just start to, being involved. But you should know your woman like that. If it was me, I'd be like, yo, if I wanted to ask my girl for a kiss on camera, and I'm not sure if she's going to kiss me, then I won't ask for it because that's going to only lead to your embarrassment. So you make sure that you know your woman before you embarrass yourself, thinking that they're going to give you what you asked for on camera before the world. So he's dumb. It's proven that he's dumb. This is actually a big red flag that he failed to understand the woman around him, and we can't blame the woman for that. It's his fault for not understanding that this is what it would have comes to if he asked her for a kiss. He should have known better, And some people do know that they'll get a wrong response, but he never knew. Because if he had knew, then he'd say something like this, I knew she wouldn't do it. I knew it. I just wanted to test her. And you want to see him so frustrated. But the fact that you seeing him get so frustrated, look, you're going to see how frustrated he get. And that exposed how, what's the term I'm looking for again now? Disappointed, right? You'll see how disappointed he was because it's almost like he never expected that, but it's not saying that he never expected that because he's dumb. So a dumb person, whether or not they expect or never expect, it's just dumb because they should have known. And as I said, the fact that you're going to see him display himself, so being so boisterous and butthurt over her deciding not to kiss him. With that said, it's still the fault of him being dumb, why he never expected that result. And being dumb, they're saying, is when you put out the same effort and do the same thing by getting the same result, but expected another result. But you kept on doing the same thing, getting the same result, and make no changes while expecting to get a better result. You know what I'm saying? So that's him.
Seasoning.
They don't.
Just like
She gonna be a bitch. I leave though.
No, don't say that.
No, I don't.
You see, the cameraman is telling him, don't say that, just for a kiss. He wants to feel so big. He wants to feel such a boss. And, you know what I'm saying? This is why I showed you that God, he prefers a lot of the street gangster over these type of men who had the better life. I just read his little autobiography saying that he was saved for learning how to box from he was 6 years old. It saved him from the streets. But the guys in the streets who are in the gangs, who are unaliving a lot of people, right? They are closer to God than someone like him. But I know a lot of y'all fail to see it because the ones in the street living most dangerously, they're the ones who you're most able to see God powers around because they're in the middle of the catastrophe. And, it's like almost you have to have God with you to survive in those surrounding. And remember, no one knows the future. And we've seen a lot of gangster change in the end, doing good work, good deed, And, you can't just put down people because of the present time. But we can address them and identify them as evil until they changes. We don't know if they're going to change or ever going to change, but we can hope for them to change.
Women. All that playing, I don't play with women, gang. I'm that nigga.
He was obviously playing with this woman, asked her for a kiss, and he never knew that he would get it. That's some game shit. Because you should have known her response would have been. You should have known. You know what I'm saying? He's like a womanizer and a lot of men with money. And that is why the Bible says money is the root of all evil. A lot of times we know we don't agree with money being something evil, but that's not what the Bible says when it says that money is the root of all evil. When the Bible says that money is the root of all evil, that means that money can change a good guy into an evil guy, someone who is humble. Once he gets money, he could change into this narcissistic, this ignorant, this expected to get whatever he asked, money. And that is how it's the root cause for the bad behavior, for the evil ways. You know what I'm saying? So the Bible is perfectly right when it says money is the root of all evil. That is why the world being run as how it is being run, because money is the root cause of it all. You know what I'm saying? General Motors are fighting against the electric cars and water cars that could run on water because they want the money. They don't want to lose all those billions. General Motor industry. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that money is always the root cause. Not for everyone. Some people don't let money be that powerful, in determine their action. To determine their action.
I'm really him, bro. I don't care how beautiful a woman is, none of that, bro. I make my own millions.
You see? Money is the root of his reason to not respect women, to not play with women, because we should play with women. You know what I'm saying? Have some nice fun time with them. But this guy said he doesn't play with them, but yet still his sort of games are foolish games because he's a fool, and a fool and their money shall depart. Now look for this fool to depart with his money in a couple of years, because he already showing us that he's a fool. He has failed to mature. You know what I'm saying? And that is why I told you a lot of times that it's never these big body dudes with these big brain, muscle brain inside their head. It's never them. It's never the Goliath is the main champion throughout all eras. It's always that little guy, that slim built guy, that normal body size, that middle welterweight size, not the big champion guy, not the over Neanderthal looking type of guy, not the smallest, littlest of dwarf. I'm sorry, dwarfs, midget. No, what's the term? Little people. They said little people is the respectful term. They're saying that midget was once respectable, but now it's not respectable in the modern time. And that is what I've been telling people also, that not because you were born in a time where you see your older folks saying things that make sense, it doesn't mean that it's going to make sense 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be repeating the same old shit our grandma been saying when it doesn't make sense these time around. You know what I'm saying?
Don't nobody do a round for me. Don't nobody run a mile for me. None of that.
No, you see, a lot of people would be loyal to this guy. There's women out there who would be loyal. There's people like me who we believe, like, whenever I go around a successful artist, I do a lot of things for them for free, especially the fact to know that I'm welcome at their place. I'll wash your car, I'll sweep your yard just for being welcome at your house. Even if I'm just able to stay outside and not allowed to go in, I appreciate that, because I love music. I'm an artist as well. I love movies, and whatever I love, whoever produce it, I'm going to love them until I find out if they have these evil ways that don't sit well with me. Okay? Because the thing is, good people do bad things too, but their bad doesn't outweigh their good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes good people have to do bad things, and sometimes they do bad things because of their ego that leads them, but yet still good people will always regret doing the evil, while evil people, they have no regrets at all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't care about a beautiful woman. So if she want to go, let her go. Nigga.
He doesn't care about a beautiful woman. That's a lie. The lie detector said that's a lie. And we don't need no lie detector to see that's a lie. You know why that's a lie? Because he asked the most beautiful woman in that kitchen or wherever in the house that they are, right, for a kiss. He never asked the less attractive woman for a kiss. He asked the most beautiful one who has been making rounds on social media. I'm very familiar with this doll face, this doll looking beautiful, Snow Bunny's face. She is so charming, she is so beautiful, and she's just humble, reserved, and modest. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't have bad ways, and I'm not saying that she can be evil, because sometimes we can be deceived, especially when the evil person is very intelligent. They know how to act, they know to play in front of people, right? To make it hard for you to notice that they're evil. But when this guy is acting like this, he exposed himself being the evil one. And that is what life is mainly about. It's mainly about who is the good and who is doing evil, who is on the side of evil. Life is a clash between good versus evil. That's all what life is, you know, and that is what we talk about mostly here on our channel. Um, Identifying our good celebrities from the evil ones, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes good people and good people also clash because of misunderstanding, and also evil people and evil people clash too as well. So we're not going to say that this lady is not evil, or but in this situation she's definitely the good soul here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and remember that people change as well. People change from good to doing evil, becoming evil, you know, for whatever reason that caused them to change. And you have people who change from evil becoming good, you know what I'm saying? So life is just like that, you know. And once more and more people start to show interest in the people who are doing good, then that will motivate other people to want to be good. Because in a group of any amount of people, right? I've noticed this ever since I was a child, for many years coming up. I've been amongst a lot of groups of friends growing up to this day. Now I'm all by myself, just doing my vlogs. I do have friends, but they only see me whenever I have to go in whatever environment that they are. But I'm not the type of person who's just gonna get up to go spend time around friends. No, I was like that, but I was foolish. Nowadays, I have to, like, I'll go to the studio to go around my friends when I have a song to record. And once it's finished, I'll hold a little vibes with them, and I'll still buy them stuff. If, you know, if I'm eating, I'll buy food for them, but I'm not wasting my time to be around people that, you know, there's nothing being done constructively, you know. So I'm reserving my life and reserving my strength, you know, because if you're going to just hang with friends for the sake of friend purposes, then trouble will likely find you, and problems with those friends will normally, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's finish out this video here.
I'm rich already, gang. I'm me. I'm me, bro.
And he think he's greater than people because he got money. No, money doesn't make you better than any other. I know I spoke about people being better than other people, but it's never the money that makes them better. It's their ways, because people spend time to fix their mentality and their thinking, learning that, okay, what I was doing and how I was thinking was wrong all along. So I got to start to move this way, and they adjust themselves and their behavioral pattern, you know. And this guy has no interest in doing that, any self-reflection, because he believes that he has money, so he should be the main thing. And there's a whole lot of people that have money, so we all can't be that thing. That's why they all can't be a Pooh Shiesty. You know, I told you that Pooh Shiesty, a gangster rapper, won't have a problem with calling any girls around him for a kiss. They gonna give him that. Shout out to K Carbon, and shout out to all the Memphis female rappers and all the female rappers from all over, and all the female artists, all the female professional, all the good females too. You know what I'm saying? Because they know the guys with the power, with the true power. True power. You don't have to have money to have the love and respect from some people. You know what I mean? I'm broke, but this morning, my friends, people I was around on the street, who I know, I consider them as friends, you know. This morning while I was out around some friends, a car pulled up on me, you know what I'm saying? And it was one of these expensive vehicle, and some longtime friend I had, right? And I had beef with this person, and they wind down their window and they shouted me out. And, you know, I went over to them, and, you know, we peacefully, you know, mend things up. And, you know, because we had beef way back in the days, but this is the first time I'm seeing them in a long time. But it was them who had identified me first, you know what I'm saying? And it was serious beef, like guns were involved, knives were involved. He had came to ended my life with two other guys, you know, and it's created one big thing. And then the thing about it, the same guy who had shouted to me in the street in the expensive car this morning, he tried to assassinate me. Well, he came with the guy who wanted to assassinate me, who failed, because he actually used the knife and stab at my face. And I had only a little space behind my head. There was a wall, and I only had to use up that space to miss for the knife to run right past my face, before my eyes. And that's when I had to get up, and we started grappling, and I got help because people started to hear the sound. And, you know, it was crazy. We chased them out of town. It was crazy, big brawl, and I got a gun. You know what I'm saying? Some gangster brought a gun to me, and they say you need to go back around their house and step to them, because what they done to you. You know, this was a long time ago, and you know, this was the time when I was in the streets and I was learning about gangster, being around the gun life, and I was at war. You know, my mom had put me out like prior to that, like sometime before all of that had happened, why I was so heavily connected with a lot of gunmen and, you know, gangsters. And, you know, I appreciate those life. I've learned a lot about war, the art of war, and a lot. You know what I'm saying? So what had happened now, you know, the guy saw me and, you know, we dap things up and, you know, we chop things up for a little in the streets, and, you know, it was all cool. That was this morning, you know. It's crazy. Crazy.
Let's kiss for the chat.
We're not kissing.
That's great.
We're not kissing. No kiss for you, Mr. Adrien Broner. You are a dummy. You're a dunce. You're illiterate. You're foolish. You just have money. You look so ugly, right? Because of his character. That is why people look so ugly to me. I don't know about you. But whenever someone is very unattractive and they have good ways, possess good ways, it's easy for me to fall in love with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how unattractive you are. Once you have good ways, you're so beautiful to me. That makes me see you in such a beautiful light. I don't care if there's a big wart on your face. I don't care how, whatever flaws you have that people would use against you. Once you have a good character, that is what wins me over. That is how I know that I'm attracted to good people from ever since, not now. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of good people and other people will see me being frustrated and venting my frustration and thinking that I'm evil. But, you know, I like to bring evil to the evil people because I know the problem with evil people being around and what they can cause. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen too much of it. You know, that's why it caused me to vent so much. Sometime when I see some dumbass like Adrien Broner, I'll get in the ring with this MFKR. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't scare me. You know, he doesn't scare me one bit. Because the greatest thing, I just need to I know I'm going to land some punches on him because it's all about brain. I don't need to be trained. You know, I may not have won the fight against him, but I know I'm going to get some knock in his face that I'm going to be glad I got, you know. Yeah, so I'm going to end it here. It's crazy, you know. Men, stop abusing women, and your money doesn't make women owe you their body. Okay, they had fought for equality and they got it. So they're not lesser than us. Okay. So, yeah.